Right, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, we are going to be doing our review of the Crusaders versus Chiefs match that did just happen for Super Rugby Aotearoa round 3. Good match to watch, few interesting moments throughout it as well that we are going to be talking about. We've got all the stats and everything, but if you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It's not just me for this review this time. I have got a man to my side. I still haven't worked out what way he is, but it is Isaac. Welcome to the live stream, mate.
Thank you very much, Hamish.
No,
I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, good to hear it. Right. So straight away, you watched some of the game. What did you think overall?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting here and there. Some interesting calls. I thought. One of the there was a good try that seemed more like a rugby league kind of try to me. Jeepers.
It was old Lester Nuku's first try for the Crusaders.
Yeah, jumping like a bloody kangaroo he was.
He was indeed. But yeah, so few tries throughout this one. Crusaders received the bonus point in the end, which puts them now on 14 points. The closest team behind them are the Highlanders on 5, and then the Blues on 4. But they play off tomorrow, which will be the interesting stage to see who is going to be taking that second place. We have got Noah in the chat as well, has said hi, and also Liam, nice background. Thank you very much, mate. And yeah, it is good to have you here as well, Isaac, for this kind of co-review. Normally I do them by myself, but I do appreciate you being here.
It's a bit difficult because I don't know that much.
Yeah. That's all right. I'm wearing a Chiefs jersey, and it's fair to say it didn't go too well for them.
No,
even though I'm from Canterbury, so hopefully I don't get kicked out. We'll have to wait and see about that. But nonetheless, I will quickly run through the tries throughout this match. Did I say nonetheless again?
Yeah.
Always say it. So the first try of the match was scored by Damian McKenzie. That was the try for the Chiefs. Looked like a decent try as well. Kind of used his momentum to slide the ball over the line. And that got the Chiefs 7-0 up in this one with a very good start. That was only after about a minute and a half as well. So an incredibly quick try from the Chiefs. Then we move on to the next try. Was scored by Lester Nuku. That is the one that we were talking about a little bit earlier. The rugby league style try that it was. Just kind of glided through the air. How did his foot not touch the ground in that moment?
I honestly thought it did touch the ground. Surely grazed some grass, eh?
Well, because it's one of those ones that, like, from the angle that he was up in the air from, you're like, well, surely if he keeps this momentum, like, going forward, like, or somehow to spring himself there, he needs to, like, do some sort of momentum booster with a foot or something. But he just kind of... It was almost a majestic backwards belly flop to put that ball down.
I don't know. Honestly, I was watching it like, oh, shucks. They didn't get the try, you know. And then they called it. And I was like, I'll take it. Yeah, sure.
And that got the Crusaders right back into this match because before then, the Chiefs had actually taken a three-pointer as well. And then from there, that first half, it was penalty after penalty against the Chiefs. Back-to-back, about 7 in a row. And, yeah, against a team like the Crusaders, you can't really end up getting away with something like that because they are just a bit too strong when it comes to that penalty.
Was it their scrums that were just useless, the Chiefs?
Harsh, but, yeah, unfortunately for them, the scrum just didn't quite go the way that I think they would have liked to. They had quite a few inexperienced players in there as well. The likes of Josh Lord on debut, matching up with someone like a Sam Whitelock, 160-something tests. Like, it's going to be a tough day at the office. And then also the front row, I think it was that kind of was messing up the Chiefs as well. They had Angus Tarval in the number 3 jersey, good player. And then Tokiaho in the number 2, Ruben O'Neill in the number 1. But then they were up against George Bauer, who's a unit of an individual, Cody Taylor in the middle, who's a try-scorer machine at the moment. Didn't get one in this match, though, which wasn't ideal. And then Michael Alaalatoa, whose name I love to say, but he, he's a good man in the scrimmage as well. Alaalatoa, Alalatawa, I believe. Alalatawa. I always add an extra Alalatawa. Yeah, I always add an extra Alala in there as well. But yeah, and then from there, first half ended 10 points to the Chiefs, 11 to the Crusaders. So at that stage, could have been anyone's game. Like, it was looking like the Chiefs were still in there at that moment. But then the second half happened and the Crusaders just turned it up to another level. And yeah, the first try was, I believe it was the penalty try was the first try of that second half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah. And what did you think of that penalty try in the end?
I mean, I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, nah, it's not a knock on. But then watching it back, I could see that it was kind of like he hit his arm and then his arm flung the ball forward, you know?
Yeah. Because they looked at like the first angle and then kind of a very quick glance at the second, and they had already made the decision kind of thing. And like the commentators, they weren't too happy with it overall. And the big thing there is because of that penalty happening or slash that they allowed that ball going forward. Then from there, Brad Weber from an offside position ends up giving away the penalty try and getting yellow carded.
So that decision that must have been like a massive thing for the match. I mean, imagine if that wasn't called, like the Crusaders probably wouldn't have scored as many tries or wouldn't have been as dominant, because like that's when they kind of started to go downhill, the Chiefs.
Yeah, because I mean, the last 20 minutes of every match, like the Crusaders just seem to take it to that next level. And then with the momentum of the Chiefs pretty much being on their last warning since about 35 minutes into that match, they were in a little bit of trouble. We've got Henry Samuel here says, hi, sorry for saying the F word. I'm not sure when you said that, sorry, Henry.
You will.
But
I'm disappointed.
But yeah, unfortunately, it was just try after try in that second half. First one was the penalty try. Then it was a try of Will Jordan. That run up the middle with the ball from Richie Meyer was just class and a half from those two. And Will Jordan, he did score in both of the other matches between the Crusaders and the Chiefs in previous encounters for Super Rugby Aotearoa 2020. And he's just going to keep on continuing that form by the looks of it. He is a good player, isn't he?
Yes.
Very good. Yes. And we will get to see some stats as well a little bit later on. I keep on giving myself paper cuts because I've got about 20 bits of paper here that I have all of my information about these matches on.
I was going to say, do you have the stats yet?
Not quite, but I can bring them up in a very short moment. And we will get to see how many meters he made. I feel like for meters made, Lester Faiana Nuku's got to be up there, as well as Sever Reese, Will Jordan, Richie Mock. Tell you what, they're all up there a little bit. I think they're all hitting the 50-plus meters, those guys in the back line.
I'd be interested to see what the position... Do you remember what the position was for each?
Oh, I know in the first... I know in the first half, it was actually about 60% to the Chiefs in both stats. And then from there, the numbers just kept on switching. And then in the end, I will quickly have a wee geese because I can see here that we have got it not there. What about... Where do they put such a stat?
They normally put it at the end of the game.
I've got like every other stat other than those ones by the looks of it. But I will try and get that up very shortly. But yeah, bro, the ref was kind of bad, but I'm not complaining, says Izzy Queensland. He is from Christchurch. But yeah, the refereeing, it wasn't what they would have liked it to be in this one. And I feel like I don't like talking about the referees in these games too much because of like how quickly they have to make the decisions. But yeah, unfortunately, the big other thing with that one was the fact that Sam Cane lost his captain's referral with the new rules of Super Rugby Aotearoa. So pretty much he said that it wasn't a try and that they should go back and look. And
what's a captain's referral?
So pretty much, if you disagree with a decision, such as that leads to a try or something like that, the captain's able to go to the ref and say, I think you've got that, well, in a polite way, I think you've got that wrong. You know, you need to TMO that and have another look. It's kind of like a third or a, what's it called in cricket? I feel like I'm getting my rugby and cricket confused, but pretty much how you can say, I'd like to have it looked at again. Yeah, in a way, a friendly protest. Real friendly protest, of course. Yeah. So, yeah, he lost that decision for the Chiefs in that moment as well. So they lost a lot in just one moment of the game.
Why did he lose that decision?
Because... Oh, sorry.
No, sorry.
The delay's killing me.
You go, because I'm just kind of a bit confused about it.
So pretty much he said that it was a forward pass, like from Richie Mo'unga. So his decision was to check the forward pass.
Oh, okay.
So from there, because he checked the forward pass and they said it wasn't, but yeah, because of that, he lost that captain's referral, which meant that he couldn't use it for any other moments later in the game.
Okay.
But yeah, they almost would have needed it, but luckily, in terms of that, it wasn't a try for that forward pass one that the Crusaders had, because or else it could have been the situation of he wouldn't have been able to use it. But yeah, so a lot changed in that moment, and I mean they were able to score 3 tries up against the Hurricanes when there was a yellow card for Ardie Savia. They only scored the one, I believe, while Brad Weber was off the field. But that was the try, I believe. Or no, it might not have been. I think Will Jordan scored the try after he made it back onto the field, Brad Weber. And then Fetu Douglas scored in the 62nd, Dunshay in the 69th. And then Etienne Nano Satoro closes it out with one more for the Chiefs.
But the reason I was asking about possession is that you could just see, like, once the Chiefs got the ball, like, later in the game, that they were just knackered from defending for so long, you know?
Yeah, because, I mean, the Crusaders...
I was shocked that they actually got. I was shocked they actually got that try at the end.
But yeah, they almost stopped the bonus point of the Crusaders with the 3-try difference, but just not quite able to get there. But yeah, the tackles, it will be very interesting. We have got, if I could, I would have that ref fired, says Henry Samuel as well. We have also got James Gordon in the chat, and we have got, well, nice work from Henry Samuel. I saw in your live stream that I came back and saw the Crusaders winning by a margin, said Henry Samuel as well. What is that you've got yourself? A cheeky wee snack.
It's a cracker.
Is it? What type of cracker? Oh, Ritz.
Ritz.
I have not had Ritz. It's become a food review, but
they're like a cracker, but this one's sweet. Whoa, have I got? I've got the background on. Can you see the brick?
The bricks on the Ritz packet.
Anyway, sweet, sweet and salty. So it's got salted caramel in the middle of the crackers.
I'll tell you what, that sounds all right. Food review. Sponsor us, Ritz. You make good stuff.
Yeah, I've also got water. Good for the soul.
Water. Lucky, says Henry Samuel as well. But yeah, I looked at the tackle stats, and they made 158 tackles of the Chiefs to the 104 of the Crusaders. So, yeah, they would have been pretty buggered by the end of it, it is fair to say. We have got Kyle in the chat as well, has said, hey.
Is that I'm good? Actually, I won't say that.
Yeah, that is the name. And then we have got, this is funny, says Henry Samuel. Thank you very much, mate. I feel like at this stage, I am glad that my voice is still working, because normally after these live streams, it's gone. But yeah, it's kind of working, which is a good sign. I did get quite excited during a few moments of that match as well. Like,
there's a bit of yelling.
Yeah, sorry, it was probably very loud through the microphone. Yeah, we have also got. Oh, can I have some water? Oh, you're a brick. Tell you what, Crusaders defense. That's what you are if we're playing charades, aren't you? Because they were, you're in a log cabin. Was that a log cabin or just a house? But yeah, it's one of those situations that the Crusaders, they just weren't letting them get away in terms of the breakthroughs. Like Atene Nanasatora, he scored that try, and throughout the first half, we saw him touch the ball about twice, and he was up there for most defenders beaten in terms of overall, which is quite a shame that he wasn't able to get much of an opportunity up until the end. But we have also got Izzy Queensland is not a thing anymore. From now on, I'm Izzy Crusaders. He has changed the name as well. You might have to change your picture as well, but I assume...
Is it a new channel, like a new profile, or did he change the name?
I think he's changed the name, and the profile... It may come through later on that the logo has been changed as well. And then we have also got, if the Crusaders win this year, I'm done with rugby, says Henry Samuel. Tell you what, I think you might be done with rugby, mate. They are looking pretty strong at the moment, the Crusaders. Going to be a hard team to beat.
Who do you support, Henry?
He is a Hurricanes fan.
My favourite team, the Hurricanes. They're just sponsored by Watties and their cans.
What else? Yeah. What the heck is going on with Isaac? He's having a little bit of fun in terms of the little effects that he can use while we are in this co-live stream. But yeah, good performance overall from the Crusaders. I will quickly go through some of the stats as well. We will look at the running meters of the players and whatnot. So meters gained, we are sitting, Will Jordan had 66. Then it was Lester Whaiananuku had 64. Richie Moanga had 58. And Severis had 8 meters. That's not right. That's got to update soon. 5 carries, 8 meters. He had a quick break down the wing. Severis. So these numbers may not be completely right yet, but nonetheless, those other 3 I said that have more than 50 meters, and that is exactly what they had. So good performance from the backline of the Crusaders there.
Nathan seems to think that the Blues are the only ones that can really beat the Crusaders.
Oh, and we get to find out next Sunday.
Bold claims, bold claims.
They are going to be playing Blues versus Crusaders at Eden Park. And hopefully this match happens, because there have been many times in the past, if it's pre-season or last year's Super Rugby Aotearoa, these games have been called off between the Blues and the Crusaders, and that's the big match. That's the match that I think everyone will be able to get behind. I'm getting very hyped for this match. But it's going to be that match that could decide the tournament. Blues, if they can beat the Highlanders tomorrow, maybe they are the threat for those Crusaders. Boys. But yeah. And then for it's Nanai Saturo with the most meters, followed by Damian McKenzie. Tokiaho, the number 2, actually had a few as well. But we will wait to see those stats update a little bit more a bit later on. But for the Crusaders, most tackles was Sione Havili. He is in the number 6 jersey for this one. He was replacing Ethan Blackadder, who did end up with an injury, unfortunately for him. A concussion, I believe it was, which meant that Sione Havili was coming in. But 14 tackles, done very well for himself, followed by Tom Christie on 11, always making tackles, that man, and Scott Barrett on 10. I will quickly go back and read a little bit more of the chat as well. We have got... I have got Wellington Hurricanes, and then we have got Nathan Johnson. I think you read that one, didn't you? This could be the second funniest thing ever. What is the first? Okay. The funniest thing was when George and Isaac sniffed the party poppers, said Henry Samuel. That is, of course, on the podcast. We have got Dennis has said support Crusaders, but disappointed we cannot watch this year in UK. It is very unfortunate, because I feel like it would be great for everyone around the world to be able to watch these games, because we've had some pretty entertaining stuff so far. But I believe the best thing is Rugby Pass in the UK. That is a big question, because I think that is probably the only place to watch it with a VPN perhaps. But it is a big shame that it's not available in more countries. Of course, Super Rugby AU did sign that deal with World Rugby, which means that their games are going to be broadcast for free around the world on the World Rugby website, as long as you don't have a provider in that area. You were about to go, whoa.
You were too quick. You just keep going. I was like,
and then we have got, I agree with Nathan Johnson as well.
Yeah, the Sin Bin says, morning lads from Wales.
Good morning, mate.
It's not morning though, it's night time. Oh, what?
It is Wales. And it is going to be a good game to watch for the Six Nations as well. Are you going to be getting up at 5:45 a.m. to watch this game?
No.
No.
That does not sound
Alrighty.
fun.
Okay, I might have to do that one solo, but we are going to be watching the England versus France game. Could be a very entertaining one. Could go either way as well. So I am looking forward to that. We have also got Rip the Dab from 2016-17 elbow cough, says Henry Samuel as well. I think it actually comes through my chat as elbow cough, but I believe it is the dabbing emoji.
Oh, it's a dab.
And then it is also...
I thought you were just calling the emoji elbow cough.
But and then Henry Samuel said Rip Prime, the Super Rugby from 2020. Yeah, we've shown the games on free to view TV, and I wish it would happen a little bit more often. Like the highlights on YouTube are a nice touch, but we want to see full matches.
So the Six Nations game, is it a semi or a quarterfinal or anything, or is it just it's just a game?
It's a bit, well, I guess it's just a game, but it's also a pretty important one in terms of the overall like competition, because at the moment Wales are sitting top, which is pretty impressive. And then next, I believe it is France on 9 points, then England on about 6, I think, is the next team as well. So it's one of those things that, what are you laughing at?
Chris Toffer? The dude talking looks like Special Officer Doofy from a scary movie.
I mean, I don't know. I was about to say I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but I feel like I know what one it is.
Well, I think I know which one.
Are you looking them up? I lost my pen. I dropped it as well while laughing. That is a shame. Yeah, it's the one who. That one. But, and I guess thanks, Chris. You've got the picture, haven't you? It's probably. Tell you what, the resemblance is. What hand is it? I feel like if I look this way, it's actually quite close. You've done well there, Chris. And then Izzy has, but I'll be here tomorrow. See you later. See you later, Izzy. Thank you for tuning in, mate. And then Henry Samuel has, but haha as well. Yeah, fair play. But yeah, the Six Nations. So pretty much it's whoever wins that game is the only team that can really challenge Wales, I feel. Overall, I believe, is the standings. And if France win it, France play Wales in the last round. So whoever wins that one, if France win the match against England, that will be deciding the Six Nations pretty much. Although Wales in a pretty comfortable spot at the moment. So they are looking decent. Nathan has put ha as well. But nonetheless, back to the stats. Tackles. It was Sean, oh no, it's Quinn Tupaia made 16 tackles in that one. Sam Cane made 19 though. That man, I said at the later stages about how he made 18 tackles in the last match between the two sides. And I pretty much said if he hadn't had more than that in this match, I'll be surprised. He knocked up an extra one, and that is 19 for him, 18 for Toki as well. 10 for Tokiaho. Had a pretty busy game. It was Mitchell Brown with 14, 12 for Brad Weber, Sean Stevenson 11. They had to tackle for days, unfortunately for them. The Crusaders just made them work hard, didn't they?
Yes, they sure did.
Indeed. You know, I hope those stats up.
You go. You go.
I was just going to say, I hope those stats update a little bit more so that Severis has more than 8 meters gained. But yeah.
I was going to say, even though the Crusaders won, you know who are the real winners, Hamish?
Who are they? The fans. Yeah. And why are they the winners?
It's good rugby. Game of two halves. Credit to the boys.
Tell you what, I think every game so far has almost been a game of two halves.
It's almost like
in this competition.
Two halves, like, you know.
Yeah. The momentum just shifts, so I'm wondering whether it's going to be the same in the match between the Blues and the Highlanders in the next one. I wish Nonu, Corey, Jane, Bowden Barrett, Naheem Milner-Skudder play for the Hurricanes again, says Henry Samuel. And the Hurricanes, they will have a big match. And a thumbs up. They will have a big match up against the Chiefs in the next round. It's going to be Hurricanes, Chiefs, and then the next match after that, I'm losing my voice, was the Blues versus Crusaders.
And like you were holding back, you were choking from a tear.
But yeah, so in the end, Crusaders, can they be stopped this year?
Nah.
Who do you think will take? Okay, fair enough. They are a strong side. Yeah, I think the Blues are their biggest competition at this stage.
They're just too powerful. They're just good, you know. They know how to chuck a rugby ball around.
And that is important for rugby as well.
Generally,
and this one, I think every game so far, if I'm not wrong, has had at least one yellow card, unless maybe the Chiefs versus Highlanders. And in fact, a few of the matches have actually had 2. So a lot of penalties in this one.
They need to get their behaviour sorted then. They need to sort themselves out. But better discipline, you know?
Yeah.
Not good enough.
See, like meters carried, the Crusaders had double or more than double the meters carried. And they won defenders beaten. They beat 23. The Chiefs only beating 6. And 1 clean break to the 10 of the Crusaders. 14 offloads to 0. The Crusaders were for offloads. I feel like some of these stats, maybe they haven't been updated quite yet to the right amounts, because I feel like we saw a couple offloads from the Chiefs, although they didn't really have a lot of ball, to be fair for them. And then also 23 missed tackles to the 6. Hard to win a game when you have to just keep on making tackles. 10 penalties against the Crusaders, 15 against the Chiefs. Yeah. We have also got Leotuolo, hopefully I've said that right, has said Solomalo. And do let me know what that means. I know I said a whole heap of swear words in Tongan on a past live stream because I was just reading the chat, and then the guy donated and said you just pretty much emptied the Tongan dictionary. Are you looking it up at the moment?
Or no, I'm just trying to pronounce his name. Leotuolo Vaomoa.
I don't think that was terrible.
Thank you. Let me know if that was correct-ish.
And we have got RIP from Henry Samuel as well. Me and my team, when our rugby coach died, said Henry Samuel. He did have his rugby coach die very recently as well. And yeah, hopefully the Hurricanes can get him a win in the next match against the Chiefs. Should be a good one. What is your prediction? Have you got a prediction for the match between the Blues and the Highlanders tomorrow? Who do you think's taking that one?
I'd say there'll be some tries scored, a few penalties.
A lot of penalties.
A couple of tackles made.
Oh, yeah, a couple.
Wait, who's playing?
The Blues and the Highlanders, Eden Park, 3:35 p.m. kickoff.
Okay, I'm going to go... Oh... I reckon 18-16 to the Blues.
Okay. Close game.
Yeah, close game.
Because that's the thing.
Blues from Henry.
30 to 39 Blues. So he's on the opposite side. He's thinking it's going to be a try-scoring fiasco going on in that game tomorrow. I'm hoping the one between France and England is going to be a high-scoring one as well, because if I'm getting up at 5:45 a.m., imagine if the game was like 6-3 or something.
It probably will.
I mean, I'd end up falling asleep during the game, maybe. But Nathan Johnson has said the Blues will win as well, so everyone back in the Blues. So it will be interesting to see how that one goes. But anyway, for anyone who is just tuning in now, sorry, I see you were just about to say something. Do you want to say it quickly? No. Okay. So the tries in this match were scored by Damian McKenzie, Lester Fainaanuku. Then there was a penalty try. Will Jordan scored one. He always does. And then we have got Fetu Douglas was able to score one. Fetu Kamokamo Douglas, that is. And he did actually replace Cullen Grace late because he had a rib injury. Although Cullen Grace, he was holding the chicken for those men. Did you see the guy scoffing chicken at halftime while doing like some sort of obstacle course? Was some sort of KFC thing. And the guys were just full on scoffing chicken down, and Cullen Grace was holding the bucket for them. So it was, I don't know what was going on.
You said holding the chicken, and I didn't immediately think of KFC. So I was thinking he was just holding an actual live chicken. say anything about half time or anything, so I just saw the chicken ran on field and was like, I'll take that.
Yeah. Get some eggs. But you'd be like, what the hell? Samuel, yeah, I think I did say something along those lines when he was holding the chicken. I recognised him straight away as well. I was like, hang on, it's Cullen Grace. He is injured. But yeah, his replacement was Fetu Douglas, who was able to pick up a try, and then Quinton Strange replaced him, or replaced Fetu Douglas on the bench. But then Dunshay was able to score the try in the 69th minute as well. You're going to try and get us a brand deal again?
No,
No,
we don't need it. We don't need it.
Ooh, that sound good. But yeah, anyone tuning in?
Scorched almonds, Hamish?
No, I haven't got any on me, sadly. It's a sad day at the office, that is for sure. His replacement was the chicken, said Nathan Johnson as well. Imagine that chicken like streaking the field, I guess you could say. Although if it was streaking, would it be plucked?
These are the real questions, Hamish.
Yeah, those are the questions that all these rugby fans tuning in now to see the results of the game, that'll be what they are asking. Was the chicken plucked if it was streaking the field?
Why did the chicken cross the field, Hamish?
To score another try for the Crusaders, more than likely. Cross kick, Richie Moanga to sever Reese on the wing, perhaps. You know, I like tries. You know, we're getting quite a few of them as well, which is good news.
Yeah, I wonder how you're going to go on getting up for this live stream tomorrow morning, because all your live streams have kind of been in the evening and sometimes late.
Yeah.
And I feel like your sleep schedule will be not in tune with getting up that early in the morning.
I feel like I'll just be sitting here like this.
So you're
pretty much.
You're always good when you're tired. You always just get like hyper from tiredness.
Yeah, because I feel like that's always the kind of like after I've been awake for a while, I feel like that's not really the wake up in the morning talk a whole heap. Yeah. But you know, we'll see what happens. Maybe it will go well.
He says the chicken was probably thrown instead of the ball. I'm just imagining like a full-on bullet pass for the chicken.
Cody Taylor with the ball off it. Fires him into the line out. Yeah, drink coffee when you wake up, says Henry Samuel. My birthday live stream won't be as well. Yeah, I might need some sort of energy repriever. Repriever? Is that a word? That sounds like a word. So
you don't drink coffee though, do you, Hamish?
No. So that will be tough. A glass of water might get me going. You know?
That'll be
just go to water. Oh, I thought
you're drinking coffee.
I've realised this has kind of just become a podcast, hasn't it? We're kind of like we're just been chatting.
Podcast.
Yeah, we're just catching up, really, and talking about the match. But yeah, the possession stats, I still wasn't quite able to find them on this stats website, which is a bit of a shame. And I thought that they would have possibly had it. So I might have to look at another website quickly and see if we can get those possession stats, because I feel like they will be heavily in the favour of the Crusaders. But the Chiefs, if they could play like they did in that first kind of little while of the match, I feel like they had a decent chance. You know, like I said in my preview, if the Chiefs start well and get enough points on the board, then they're in that situation of maybe having a chance of being able to kind of keep the Crusaders from scoring too many times. But it just didn't happen for them. Unfortunately, the Chiefs, I am just going back to try and find the possession stats, see if I can find it. And it looks like I am not going to be able to by the looks of it, unfortunately. But David Harvili, they are showing him. He had a busy game. And I don't think, we're not going to get the possession apparently, sadly. So we will have to work on the theory. I would say position-wise, I think it's getting up there that way. Maybe if the Chiefs are lucky, 60-40.
I saw it on the TV. It said 65-45.
Okay. Nice one. That is good news. Right.
Do you want me to read these out to you?
I mean, you could if you like, for anyone who is just tuning in as well.
Okay, lineouts won 17-3 to the Crusaders. Lineout stolen 3-1 to the Crusaders. Carries 124 for Crusaders, 70 for the Chiefs. Oh, it's going too quick. 104 tackles for the Crusaders, 158 for the Chiefs. 6 missed tackles for the Crusaders, 23 for the Chiefs. 30 kicks in play for the Crusaders, 18 for the Chiefs. 477 kick meters. Okay, it's all just.
I feel like you need to do a few more live streams, then the fast talking just kind of flows off the tongue. You know?
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
What did the chicken ran on the field? What about tea, says Henry Samuel as well. Oh, for either tea or coffee. No, I don't really drink tea either. I'm just mainly a water drinker, to be fair. Something I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to mention this now, but I'll probably regret mentioning it. You know, I've seen next weekend, boy, there's some rugby on. You know, and I was thinking, like,
boy,
if I do it right, I could do, well, not quite 24 hours, but there's literally about 7 or 8 back-to-back games. So, you know, that would be, I think it was going to be, the first game was at about 7 p.m. on Saturday. Last game finishes at about 5 p.m. Sunday. And I was like, do I? You know, do I test it? But my voice will probably run out. I'm thinking about putting my bed behind me as well, so that like during some of the games, I just have always snooze in the background. If the live score and that's just me sleeping. But
I reckon
we have to wait and see.
If you timed it right with your sleeping pattern, you could probably do it. I reckon you could handle it. Have a little. Get some tea with a bit of lemon and honey just to get that throat nice and smooth, you know. You'll be right.
I feel like by that last game because the worst thing is the last game's Crusaders Blues, and that's a big match, and I really want to do that live stream. And I feel like by then I'll be like, and the Crusaders, they go down the wing. The Crusaders. And I just won't have anything left.
You'll just have to pace yourself with it from the start, you know, so that you don't peak too early.
Yeah. Am I going to be able to do that, though? Oh, we have also got Henry Samuel said I play scrum half, fly half, fullback, and right wing as well. And then we have also got hot chocolate, bad Hamish, don't drink beer. Says Henry Samuel. Yeah, I feel like if I was doing a drinking one for 22 hours straight, that would be an interesting end to that situation. I feel like I'd just pass out earlier. You know, you'd be about halfway through the first one and just kind of slam my head on the desk. Wait a minute. Can you see my head here?
Yeah, it's just.
Okay, so anyone who tunes into the live streams and sees my head slammed on the desk, it means that I am well and truly out of it. Who do you think?
You're just having a power nap.
Yeah. And then we have got, I'm doing Premier as well, Sir James Gordon, and we have got Nathan Johnson. Who do you think is the most hated rugby player? Owen Farrell with the ... I feel like he's certainly up there, Owen Farrell, although I think a few people, you know, sometimes he does little things that make people go, oh, he's not too bad. You know, he's all right. But then
what's wrong with Owen Farrell? I've heard George talk stuff about him.
George is passionate about Yeah. It's just pretty much his tackling techniques questioned quite a bit. And then also the fact that he loves the shoulder, Farrell, pretty much. But also
shoulder.
He's had a few red cards over the years. And then, it's a few decisions against him. And he's also got that like smirk that he had against the All Blacks in the semi-final. I think people hate him for that. But he just knew something the All Blacks fans didn't, and that was that England were going to beat them, knock them out of the World Cup. And that's coming from a Kiwi as well. So, kids would watch and start drinking, says Henry Samuel. No, we don't want that. And then comment on my premiere, says James Gordon. But nonetheless, we've been going for 39 minutes. And it's just become a podcast a little bit, hasn't it? It's been a good time.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. Pretty much, it's just a good game of rugby. You know, yes, there were moments in it that made it at times not great, but like it's still
made it interesting.
Overall, we still have some great like backline movements. Forwards at the moment in the Super Rugby Aotearoa competitions have almost I believe after this match, because of, hang on, wait up, because of this match, the forwards have now scored one less try in total than the backs throughout this Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. So that is pretty impressive as well. So, like, the forwards are doing just as much as the backs are. So it's like maybe, that will continue and we'll get to see a lot more forwards tries.
Just get rid of the backs.
Yeah.
You don't need.
I mean, some say Cody Taylor should be on the wing with the pace that the man's got. Put him in the centres. And then we have got, why did the chicken ran on the field? Says Henry Samuel again. And then we have got, are you going for England or France? Says Nathan Johnson. Oh, good question. Right. This answer could be controversial. Right. Okay.
I don't
right. You ready?
Either of them.
I think a part of me wants France to win because at this stage they're almost the only team that can catch Wales on the table, because Wales are playing Italy, I believe it is, and they haven't had the best run overall. They might actually be playing Scotland, possibly. But I think I want France to win so that they can have a chance at having a close game for the last match of the Six Nations. But then a part of me also kind of wants England to win because I can say their names easier. Like, I only know about maybe 5 French players and I struggle with the pronunciations. So I feel like England, I kind of know them a bit better. So that's kind of a bad reason. But yeah, that's kind of my reasoning behind it. And then we have also got...
at 6 in the morning trying to pronounce French names.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, that is for sure. The backline, I've almost got the backline though, and I feel like that's the important one. We have got try to outpace George because George is slow because he is fat, and the chicken is faster because he is not fat, says Henry Samuel as well. Poor George, eh? He said something about him in the live stream as well. Poor George.
Hamish, just 20 seconds ago, you said, I know the backs' names, but that's all right because they're the important ones.
Yeah. I think my statement there, don't try and twist that.
I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay
my statement there, it's purely because most of the time they're going to look to use the backs. So, like, I know Anthony Dupont is the halfback, and I think they've got Natamak and also the likes of Fakatava and someone else in the midfield, so I feel like I can say their names a little bit easier. But then the trio for the loose forwards of France, you're looking at Olivon and a couple others whose names are straight over the top of my head at the moment. Are you looking them up?
Yeah, I'll look up.
You had. All right. You're going to try and pronounce some of them. Anyone tuning in now, this has become a little bit of just pretty much a catch-up between me and Isaac. We haven't really said, we started talking about the game, but now we're kind of just talking all things rugby. So thank you all very much for tuning in. And if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on this live stream. Let us know that you are enjoying them and you would like to see them again, perhaps, in the future. We are sitting on 7 likes, which is actually pretty impressive for a little extra live stream that we are doing. So I do thank you all very much for that. It is extremely appreciated. The forwards tackle and the backs run, says Nathan Johnson. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tackles made in that match between England and France. 2 teams that don't really like each other per se, and they have close encounters in the past. And also the Autumn Nations Cup, the final of that ended 22 to England, 19 to France. And it was a bit controversial, bit of refereeing. Interesting stuff there, Jeff. So it's one of those situations. I hope that we don't have too many penalties because England's discipline hasn't been the best against teams in the Six Nations, but it could be a good match. A lot of running rugby, hard-hitting stuff. We love it. And we'll have to get up at 5:45 a.m.
Okay. We have Bryce Dulun, Eddie Thomas.
Oh, yes.
Verimi Vakatawa. That's not even French. Okay. Verimi Vakatawa. Gail Ficot.
Oh, yeah. Ficot.
Demi Pinard.
Yeah.
Matthew Jalibert. Jalabert, Antoine Dupont, Cyril Bale, Julien Marchand.
Can I just ask a question quickly while you're halfway through? Why is it every time you say a French name, your face goes, yeah? Like you kind of stretch your face out like.
Mohammed. Okay, this one's hard. Mohammed Haous. It's spelled Haouas. That's four vowels in a row.
How is it? How?
Haouas, because the A at the end. Mohammed Haouas. Romain Taufifinois. Paul. Willem.
Okay.
Paul. Dylan Cretan. Charles Olivon.
Olivon.
Gregory Aldlu.
See, like some of those names, we're thinking 6 o'clock in the morning. They're going to be tough, to try and rattle off. I might have to just use the numbers on their back.
Yeah. One of the replacements is Cyril Kazoo, but it's like a Cazeaux.
Oh, Kazoo.
We've got an X in there. Good luck with that.
Thank you. Hopefully it does go well. But nonetheless, we are, I said nonetheless again, we are sitting. We have got Tyson Allen. Hey, Kiwi lads, it's golf first, but I'm on my main account now. So welcome to the live stream, Tyson. Thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, we've been going for about 46 minutes now, just kind of rambling about rugby and all sorts. I have enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Are we going to do it again sometimes, perhaps, if you want to come on for another post-match review sometime?
Maybe if I actually watch the game. I mean, I was supposed to be doing an assignment tonight.
Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I've got 2 assignments due in 5 days. And one of them I already started today. So that's...
Yeah, not good. We have also got Meanez in the chat. Thank God I didn't watch the bloody game. Unfortunately, yeah, he had a comment earlier on in the week. He was praying for the Chiefs to finally get the win. But, yeah, it's the Chiefs. The problem is they start the match so well. Like, in that first kind of 5 minutes or so, it was like, hang on. The Chiefs have come to play here. But then, unfortunately, the Crusaders became the Crusaders after that first kind of moment. And, yeah, about 7 back-to-back penalties against the Chiefs. That doesn't help. And then, yeah, that controversial, but even with that controversial moment, I feel like the Chiefs may have still fallen behind after that, but it didn't help the fact that they were down to 14 men with Brad Weber off the field and a penalty try awarded. So really, in a way, yeah, changing point in the game, but I feel like it was still probably the Crusaders' game to win in that second half. But yeah.
Did you know that you're on 1.29 thousand subscribers?
Are we?
So almost at 1,300.
That is a big number, isn't it? Like, it's still weird to think that at the end of last year we wanted to hit the 100. And now, where are we?
I said 3.5 by the end of this year.
We're gonna have to work hard for that. Already a couple months in. So anyone who is watching now, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can get to Isaac's goal.
What the hell's on TV now? Is this Reds
versus Brumbies? The Super Rugby AU game. I wanted to do it, but I feel like I'll end up having to go to bed a little bit earlier so that I can wake up early.
They're in the changing rooms and barely any of them have shirts on.
Oh, I see.
It's a few chubby
cheeky
ones.
As I said, Team NZ smashed it. Okay. And the Italians, NZ, says Meanez as well. And then we have got Batman in the chat. Has said, hello, mate, England or France, tell you what. It's an exciting matchup.
You never said which one.
I'm good at sitting on the fence. There is the saying that, sit on the fence that much, you get splinters. I feel like I have got a lot of splinters at this stage. I'm going for France by 14, said Batman as well. And tell you what, that's probably like, if England don't get it right in the early stages, France, I mean, they've got the best halfback, if not best player in the world in Dupont. And that back line is looking sharp with Fakatava and whatnot in there. Like, it's gonna be hard for England, but you know, they've lost 2 in a row. They want to fight back. They want to prove that they aren't going to lose the 3 in a row. Last time they lost 3 in a row, it was 2018. I feel like I'm talking about everything that I actually do in a preview that I haven't edited yet, that I was going to be uploading before the game. I feel like I should edit that before going to bed so that I do get it out just before the match is happening.
So have you not done the preview yet for the game that's on tomorrow morning?
No. I was going to release it a couple hours before the match.
It's 10 o'clock, Hamish. 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. We also had another video of me and George playing the match, like from way back, that I was going to edit down a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be happening.
You might just have to do an all-nighter.
You think?
I think that's the way to do it.
I feel like the biggest problem with an all-nighter is I feel like I'm going to crash just before the Blues Highlanders game, and I really want to do that match. You might have to do an all-nighter for the assignment so that you can do the commentary for the Blues Highlanders if I, am sleeping.
What, do you want me to take over for the commentating?
Maybe.
Could you imagine? People would turn up to the channel and be like, "Who the hell is this geezer?"
I think they'd enjoy it. You'd have a bit of banter with them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I wouldn't know what's going on in the game. I'd be like, "Oh, there's a try happening." I think.
See, because that was one thing I was actually going to talk to you about it as well. I was going to say, if I did end up doing that, like back-to-back games next weekend, I was going to say, like, would you want to take over just in case I crash later on? But I don't know, maybe George. I feel like leaving George alone for a live stream is very risky.
Yeah, no, don't leave him alone.
Just come back, the channel would just be terminated, and I'd be like, oh, what happened there? But I might get him involved for the Wales versus France game at 9 a.m. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe we'll just have guests throughout the night. Who's a guest from somewhere else? We'll find a few guests, eh? We just go for
each game, get a new guest on.
For a little bit of a post-match analysis or something, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. I feel like I should start arranging that, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
See what I can do. Who would you guys... Oh, who do I get? Who would you guys in the chat want to see little collaborations with for each of those games? Do let me know, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Although we are still a relatively small channel, so it's probably a little bit tricky to be able to get a few of them. I'm boring Isaac at the moment, unfortunately. You think Richie McCaw would come on for a bit of post-match banter?
Yep.
All right. If anyone's got Richie McCaw's number, hit him up. See if he wants to come on the channel.
Yeah, I know. I'll get in contact.
Put in a good word for us.
I'll be honest with him.
Uh-oh. So he's not coming on the channel. And then Batman has got Wales for the win. They are sitting comfortably at the moment, Wales.
Donald Trump. Don't know how much Donald Trump would know about rugby, to be honest. He probably knows as much as me, actually.
Kiwi please wear a daffodil for the Wales game next week since you have the toy All Black. Are daffodils in season at the moment in New Zealand?
No, it's spring.
It might be a bit of a problem. How would I get a daffodil? Can you? I guess a fake one, maybe. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. If not, maybe we will just we could cover Kieran Reid's All Black logo with a Wales logo, maybe. And can you make wear a French hat? Said Batman as well. Or is my mate Isaac or my mate Kieran? Kieran loves a bit of banter.
It's Kieran.
It's a Welsh thing. Welsh fans wear daffodils. Tell you what, there will be a lot of daffodils around if England win this next match against France, because pretty much from there, Wales would have secured the Six Nations unless there is a huge upset and they lose their match against, I believe they're playing Italy if I'm not wrong, or maybe Scotland. If it's Scotland, it's going to be a little bit of a closer match than possibly anticipated, because Scotland, they've been doing decently overall. It is going to be Italy for that one. So, yeah, we will have to wait and see how that goes. But nonetheless, we've been going 55 minutes. I'm actually loving this, you know? Yeah. It's like, it's something a bit different. We haven't had a collaboration on the channel for a wee while. Like, me and George do the videos here, but like a live one, you know, it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. It's banter, you know. Yeah. I think I'm at that tired stage. I know.
I've only been on the live stream once, and it was like last year. I think it was like halftime. No, it was after the game for like 5 minutes or something.
And I think
yeah, you rapped and I beatboxed.
Who knows where the days. Kieran looks depressed in the corner over there. He is just lucky the treadmill doesn't fall on him, or else he'd be looking a little bit more than depressed. He'd probably be quite flat. Because he is actually, it looks like he's a little bit in front of it, does it? No. Does it?
No.
A little bit. No, doesn't. He's underneath it. But Kieran, he'll be out and about at 5 a.m., won't he? For the England versus France game. He'll be keen.
Should we talk about this game that's about to happen?
Well, the Reds versus the Brumbies. Just keep on going.
They're walking out onto the field.
You sound like you're really happy about it.
I've got some horse mascots there for the Brumbies.
Oh, it is actually, the Reds are wearing their Indigenous kit, if I'm not wrong.
No, I think it's the Brumbies are wearing their Indigenous kit.
Maybe they're both wearing their Indigenous kits.
Maybe.
Yes, Kieran wear a French hat as in a beret. I assume that is. And we have got, hi, sorry for the late reply. Just need to ask, the Chiefs are so weak, their mentality is gone and need a try leader. Kane is not good enough. And yeah, unfortunately for them, I mean, Sam Kane, like 19 tackles, he put in the shift for the boys out on the field, but unfortunately they just don't seem to have, like, against, that's the thing though, against the Crusaders, like, you're going to look like you're not very good, if that makes sense, because they are just almost that level above at the moment, the Crusaders. Like, I'm interested to see how they go against the Hurricanes. I think they'll have a decent shot in that match. It's just finding that little bit of a rhythm and finding what works. Why do you think the Chiefs have gone to poo in the last year? What's the reason? Said Batman as well. That's a great question. I mean, they've got the talent there, but I feel like it's almost, I don't want to be cruel, but the forward pack, when you look at the Chiefs forward pack, unfortunately, it's just not quite at the level of other teams. And I feel like that sounds bad, but I think that is the case. I mean, you can look at their lineup here. They had Ruben O'Neill, Samisoni Takiaho, Angus Tarval. Then they had Tupava'ai and Josh Lord, Mitchell Brown, Sam Kane, Luke Jacobson. And I mean, looking through that list, you could probably say about 4 of those players are at the level as the other sides, kind of thing. I feel bad. I don't like bagging any teams, but, you know, it's just, you know, if you look at compared to the Crusaders, we'll go. So I'll say 4 of those players are like that level that you want to be at. Then for the Crusaders, you've got Cody Taylor. Alatoa is pretty much there as well. Scott Barrett, Sam Whitelock. Then you've got Tom Christie there as well. So you've at least got 5 plus maybe 1 or 2 more depending on who they put on the field. And I think your forwards make the difference. Like the Chiefs were making a lot of tackles throughout that match. Like a lot of those forwards did rack up 10 or more. And you know that I've seen it, don't you? But yeah, it's just one of those things that unfortunately hasn't quite clicked for them. Who's that handsome fella on the right? Geez, he's a stunner, from Isaac Williams. Who is that fella on the right, Isaac?
Huh?
Yeah. Who's that fella on the right? Is that... Do you know him? Yeah.
See. Well, this Isaac Williams fella, he's got first off, a very similar name to mine. But yeah, thank you very much. You know, he obviously has good taste. Yeah. Sorry to comment on you, Hamish.
That's all right. I'm wearing a Chiefs jersey, so people aren't as nice, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we are sitting on, I believe we are sitting on about 8 likes at the moment. Can we get that to 10 before the hour? Although we've actually only got 15 seconds, so maybe not. We will have to wait and see. But nonetheless, we have hit the hour almost. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are there. The guy on the left is pretty cool too. Thank you very much, Isaac. Do appreciate that. But nonetheless, I think with that hour, normally I do these for about half an hour, but we have been going for the full hour. The next game, the Reds versus the Brumbies, has started. If you are in a country that doesn't have a provider, such as those countries like New Zealand, Australia, who do, if you're in the UK or anywhere like that, you can actually watch this game of rugby live for free on the World Rugby's website.
They don't have the score or anything in the corner. I mean, I know it's not all the time or anything. There's no like infographics on the screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Normally they would. For me, they're still getting changed. I'm a little bit behind. But
the Brumbies, no. The Reds have the ball. See, I'll be useless at this.
Tell you what, the Brumbies, 17 minutes, 17-0 over the Reds at the moment. Although by the looks of it, it looks like Hamish Stewart, that's James O'Connor, might be able to convert that one for them. Yes, he has down the middle. So now the score in that match, 17 minutes, 17-3. That looks like it could be a high-scoring match. And I wish I was watching it as well, but I think I'm going to have to go to bed soon after editing the video so that I can possibly look at getting ready for the live stream tomorrow morning. And we have got, I feel like the Force will beat the Chiefs, says Batman. That is for Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. I'm looking forward to that. Only about 3 months away as well. They are going to be doing the New Zealand teams.
What's the deal with that? Yeah.
New Zealand teams versus Australia teams. So it is going to be the 5 versus the 5.
So, so Super Rugby Aotearoa are only going on for like the first half of winter. And then that'll go for like half of winter.
Yeah, I believe so. So we're sitting at round 3 at the moment, and there's 10 rounds and then the final. And then Super Rugby AU started a week earlier. So their finals when our final round is. And then from there, I think it's actually the week after the final of New Zealand Super Rugby Aotearoa that it's straight into Trans-Tasman stuff. There's no breaks around here. You know, we're straight back into the action. Should be very exciting.
That's pretty much Super Rugby without South Africa.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think South Africa, some of their teams are heading north to the Northern Hemisphere.
Oh, really?
For a bit of Pro 16, I believe it will be. I think they're adding a couple teams into there. So that'll be interesting to see how that one goes as well. I feel like this is weird, but I could almost do like a watch-along live stream of the game and just edit while doing it. But then I feel like people who actually want to get the commentary of the game would get annoyed with that. So I might just stick to editing it. And then, But nonetheless, I think... Sorry, I said nonetheless again.
So what's the deal with like the Argentina team and the Japanese team in Super Rugby? Do they do anything, or are they've just given up?
I know a few Argentine players have gone to Australia to play. The likes of Kubeli is the halfback for the Western Force, I believe he is. And the Japanese team, I believe, are taking part in the Japanese competition they've got over there, the top 14. No, sorry, that's French. Or is it? The top league, I think it's called, in Japan. And that's where the likes of Bowden Barrett and whatnot are at the moment as well. Mate, I would love to see Crusaders versus Brumbies. Yeah, that will be an absolute ripper of a match. Top of the top. I think it's actually in one of the earlier weeks of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman as well. See, I get excited thinking about that tournament between the New Zealand and Australian sides. It seems like forever since we've seen them clash, and it should be very exciting.
Yeah.
Right. With that said, I think we are at the end of this live stream, I assume. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Isaac. Do appreciate it a lot, mate.
That is all right. Thank you for having me. I hope you have a swell evening.
Thank you. And I hope we will do this again sometime. It was fun, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit of a chat. But yeah, nonetheless, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on this live stream. I'm not sure how many likes we are sitting on at the moment. I will have a quick wee look. We are sitting on 9 at the moment, it seems.
Really?
1 away from that 10. I mean, mate, I would love to see Crusaders versus Exeter Chiefs, king of the clubs. Yeah, that would be a pretty awesome match as well. And we have hit 10 likes now. So I do appreciate whoever hit that like button. But nonetheless, we are at the end of this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new. And yeah, we will see you all in the next one.
Yeah.